very warm welcome to all the viewers of Ticker Markets. So today is a very special day for Ticker Markets because we are at Asia's oldest exchange and we are a part of history because today is the day when BSE is going to launch its commodity derivatives segment, and for this we have the management team with us. So we have Ashish Chauhan, MD and CEO of BSE, and also joining with us is Patil sir, Head Commodities and Business Development. Welcome to both of you, sir. This is a momentous occasion, and going ahead, what do you intend to achieve? You are like a magician. You have been doing this in the past. We have seen BSE getting listed. We have seen your star mutual funds getting outperformed. So this is yet another leap which you have made. What do you intend to achieve going forward from this?
See, basically what we try to do at BSE is to stay relevant and become useful to the nation. So this is in a way an endeavor to give more compliant, better technology oriented, more automated, more transparent, fair, efficient commodities market, which is connected to the underlying markets also.
Sure.
And that's what our regulators have wanted when FMC and SEBI got merged. They wanted to allow stock exchanges to come into the commodities because they thought this is a more compliant market.
All right.
And that's where we basically decided. But we also started preparing for commodities actually in 2014 because we got a new technology from Deutsche Börse. We implemented it in all other markets. We got very good results in currencies and interest rates. We thought we should go into commodities. So that's why we started. It's now 4 years. We were ready already. So that's where when SEBI gave us the approval, I think Thursday, and now we are launching on Monday. So like in 4 days time, we are launching, and that's all credit to the team led by Samir and Neeraj. And
sure, definitely. I was about to come to Samir, and as sir said that the technology was already there, the intention was already there. SEBI's approval was the most important thing. What do you think? So going forward, what will be the important milestones you will achieve from this going ahead?
So we are looking at launching products in a phase-wise. Initially, we start with the precious metals,
right?
Phase 1, and then phase 1 part B, oil, and then the base metals contract.
Sure.
And then eventually in the phase 2, we would be launching the agri commodities as well. The unique thing over here is we have been associated with all the stakeholders, the associations of the country,
right?
And we are surprised to see the enthusiasm they had to join hands with us to come ahead and take this forward.
Sure. As we said that you are already associated with a lot of members. Around 1,000 members are associated with BSE. How much intention they have showed, or how many brokers have approached you to get involved in this commodity trading segment? If you can just highlight that.
We have more than 1,400 members.
All right.
Across the country, out of which 442 members have agreed to join in the first phase.
So first phase 442 only will go ahead with the commodity derivative.
And on the first day itself, we have already got more than 140 brokers who have complied in all respect and have already joined. Although their trading, clearing, settlement, all technologies may take some time to roll out. But for me, 140 people completing in 3 days' time, all the documentations, everything is a very heartening thing. That also tells us that there is tremendous enthusiasm of working on a high-tech exchange, which is also lower cost.
The technology is something which you are banking on, and definitely, Samir, going ahead, markets have shrunk. I'm talking about the turnover of the commodity segment has already shrunk to 20% where it was 5 years back. We are talking about the trading volumes worth 1 trillion, and now it's roughly around 20,000 crores. So with this a new initiative, do you think so you will be able to match up or to recoup the lost the trading volume as well as regain some market share on that?
Definitely. For us, initially when we are starting with the precious metals and the gold and silver, the aim, the objective is to make the yellow metal, the physical gold delivered to the end users' houses, and so that is the idea. So once you have that done, then the entire participation expands on the platform.
Sure. As we are talking about the platform and expansion of trading volume, the commodity exchange liquidity is something that is commanded by the first mover. MCX is the first mover, and definitely the question is, how do you intend to increase the participation? Is it from the existing MCX, or you have a different idea about it? What's your business plan?
See, basically we have much larger in terms of our footprints. We have 1,400 odd members, 200,000 terminals in 3,000 cities. So clearly we are very, very large compared to the current commodity exchanges in terms of everything we do.
Right.
And we reach out to more people. We have 4 crore and 5 lakhs unique client codes registered with us, largest in the country. If we were a country ourselves, we would be around 20th largest country in the world. And that's why I'm telling you this is, it's very important to understand that the scale we bring in and the number of participants we can actually bring into the commodities framework, which is more transparent, fair, efficient, high-tech, lower cost, and still the maximum compliant and more trustworthy, then more and more people can participate. But our aim is not to become a trading only market.
Sure.
See, the framework of trading for the sake of trading is what brings you to lower volumes or higher volumes. But if you create linkages into the real sectors, real economy, the spot market, then people start actually wanting to come to you, and you may not trade that much, but you may be still more relevant, more useful than the rest of the exchange.
Sir, you're talking about trading, and there is one more factor that has already impacted this market as CTT, has impacted in a broader way. If you're talking about commodity markets, it has, and the options market has also not picked up. Are you going to propose anything to the government, or maybe in this finance bill, if you can just highlight that?
See, basically our endeavor is to work within whatever framework the government puts in. But within that, whatever is
but traders are also asking for reduction in the CTT. What's your opinion about it?
No, it is important that the trading markets are having as little friction as possible, or perhaps no friction at all. And we have seen that in the GIFT City India International Exchange. On many days, the gold trading on that market, which is 1.5 years old, and very few people participate, is now larger than the Indian exchanges in gold.
Exactly.
And that tells you that when there is less friction in a market on a transaction basis, then there is more volumes. But the way we look at it is, how do we continue to remain connected to the underlying markets?
Sure.
How do we ensure that people who want deliveries are actually getting deliveries at their home or their office places? And those are the kind of things we are kind of.
So this service-oriented BSE you're talking about. Very quickly, before we move on to the next question, Samir, what's your opinion on this question about the CTD one?
For us, markets are here to develop. For us, as and when we'll be allowed to launch the options after the regulatory approvals, we would be eager to run the far dated contracts as well, where the actual users, the hedgers, come and participate. For
Exactly.
us, that's a real victory.
So, but actually, this still doesn't answer my question. Is government, if you see this with the implementation of CTTs, is roughly around taking 3 times than what the exchange is currently driving. So, how will the volumes pick up in such a thin margin area?
That's why I also mentioned that trading for the sake of trading, right? When we become very trading oriented, we forget that we are also running the market for the sake of the society.
Sure.
If we are useful, the connection into the real markets will also get us the benefits, and that's how we think that the Indian markets can go up many-fold.
Sure.
With CTD also, there is no problem
That's
at all.
absolutely
But
fine with it.
we have to show it to the world that if you want delivery from BSE
Right.
of 1 kilobar or larger, we are able to deliver, and that is what, for us, that would be the victory of the markets, not just too much trading. I mean, you can continue to trade a lot. It's like running on the treadmill. You can run a lot very fast, you get tired, but you remain in the same place. That cannot be the motive of running markets.
So, I mean, you have said that the transaction fees will not be charged from the BSE side. Why is this decision coming? This is for the initial first year of.
Yes.
All right. So, why is this transaction has not been levied?
So this is basically the contracts have been launched similar to those in the existing exchanges, and then there are costs, and then we are the late entrants. So to attract participation, to have interest from varied participation as well,
All right.
to reduce the cost from our end. That's basically, then you set a good example for a hedging platform, rather to hedgers to come and participate on our exchange. So we are ready to do that.
So the next question I am asking you, because you are considered as Sachin Tendulkar of commodities, you have been instrumental in making this commodity place a big volume game as well. So, is it the replica of the current exchanges, or you have added a different features to this new commodity product which the BSE is launching?
So at this point of time, the entire contract specifications remain same.
All right.
Eventually, going forward, you will see a lot of innovations.
All
You
right.
see a lot of innovation in the contract. But at this point of time, yes, the contracts remain to be similar. And yes, there are end users, the participants who want to come and participate on this contract at a better price. So I think
Sure.
we should service that.
So last few questions. One of the liquidity creator is index. What are your thoughts about commodity index?
No, commodities index are absolutely necessary. In fact, if you look at the consumer price inflation, it's actually an index of commodities of a different basket, you know. Of course, that basket may not remain relevant because the way time it was created, it might have changed. But effectively,
Have you proposed anything?
To begin with, we will first create our markets.
All right.
We'll have some trading happening, some connectivity to the real deliveries, and then we can say that we have a market on which we can develop indexes on which also you can trade later on.
All right. So you also intend to open gold spot exchange. What are your plans for the gold spot exchange, sir? If you can just briefly, if you want to answer that as well.
No, we want to basically be in all the avenues that are basically for ensuring that we get into people's mind and people's way of transactions.
All right.
And that's where the spot gold is an absolutely important initiative for the country as a whole.
Sure.
So that we become a price setting nation. Today we are one of the largest consumers as a society in the world, but we are not a price setter, we are a price taker from CME or from Shanghai, or even the small country like Turkey is also able to set prices because they have an exchange on spot gold. And that's what our perspective was, and hopefully
Sure.
Once we come in, once the framework is established by the government, which was announced in the last budget, we would certainly be participating. We have partnered with us, all the associations are partnering, many bankers are willing to partner, and
Lovely.
so we'll be able to provide much more strong technology oriented but very robust framework for not only transaction but also for delivery into
Fantastic.
spot gold, and then it connects into the futures
main
markets.
futures markets. All right. So one last question to you as well as to Sami sir as well. Road ahead and the last mile intention.
Our intentions continue to be of service to the nation.
All right.
Whatever we can do to ensure we provide fair, efficient, transparent markets to the country at the lowest cost and the most compliant manner, most trustworthy manner, we'll continue to do it. We have done it for 143 years and we'll continue to do it for next 143 years.
Are you looking to
beyond.
acquire any?
Currently, we are trying to grow organically because of our technology.
But are you open for acquisition?
See, usually we would want to do it organically.
Okay.
But I have been asked this question for last several years, and our board has taken a decision to not look at any acquisition for the time being.
Sure. And your last word, Sami sir.
For me, initially is to create a robust platform, a robust ecosystem for all
Right.
participants to come on board and participate on the exchange. And the other thing here, more important thing here is delivery at your doorstep.
Fantastic.
And to put forward again to this is have varied participation across all stakeholders.
All right.
So, and this could be the first step towards becoming the price setter in the near future. So this could be the idea.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. Ticker Markets wish you all the best for commodities, derivatives and trading segment. Thank you so much, sir.